This podcast contains strong language and mature themes. Listener discretion is advised.
So
huge bitch.
Ami totally plays the bitch part really, really well.
All right, well, let's break it down so we can say our pieces. Let's start off with our first episode, our introduction.
This was my first episode. I watched this with someone last year, and this was the first episode I went into because they were going through their watch for the first time, and I was like, oh, I'll jump in. And what a great introduction to the show. Like, in the first 5 minutes, you get the dynamic of every character in the room, which is everyone but Minarine. They establish Ryuji and Taiga's back and forth. They throw in a little bit of exposition that's, like, peppered in a little bit. It's not too strong. And then Kitamura comes in. They mention Minarine. They have the whole chemistry of these two are trying to get their crushes to like each other, but they're also dealing with their own social problems. And I don't know. I thought it was a great, like, if you were to jump in at any point, this might as well be the part.
Oh yeah, and definitely the scene leans onward to very much give us a great introduction to this character. Right away, you think she's going to be literally what she says she is, a ditzy airhead who's a helpless flirt, but she's anything but. Can I also call out Kitamura on something? What dude uses the bathroom tactic with another dude?
Hey, he is progressive.
I mean, that's not something you see too often, and I don't think I'd be able to pick up that kind of hint. It's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'd be like, huh, wow, okay. Doop-de-doo.
Yeah, that's I guess it's sort of the guy thing they'll call it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's another thing I feel like we don't get enough of. I mean, speaking of at this point, is like we don't get a lot of Kitamura Ryuji, we don't get a lot of Minarine Taiga. Like we don't get to see those friendships too much just yet. I mean, I know it comes up a lot more in later episodes, but like right now, like you only get like some scenes kind of mixed into there.
Yeah, it's definitely the Taiga Minarine stuff comes in the second act, but Kitamura in general, just he kind of, you know, he's the eternal like side character that like he's such a great concept and he's so interesting in his like levels of veiled personality that by the second act they're like, well, we don't have time for this anymore. So goodbye. But right now, like whenever he's in a scene, he is on the top. I've said it 100 times. But what I wrote down was that Ami starts out so rough that the show practically dares you to be one back. Like it, and I think it wins because like the character for the first half of the first episode, maybe the entire first episode she's in, like you don't like her. And by the end of the next episode, I was completely on board with, oh, I like this character. I want her to stick around. Like, her being around Taiga and Ryuji has helped her as a person grow, and she's going to end up making this team, like, struggle. It's such an interesting approach to the dynamic, too.
True. I mean, she does have a mixed introduction, I guess I'll say. I can't say there's too much like it, especially in this anime. But, I don't know. It always put a sour taste in my mouth, and, I don't know, two-faced people, especially in fiction, have always bothered me because of the way they're written. Like, when you write a character, obviously there's an arc, but when you have, like, a character that very obviously puts on a mask, like she does, you know where it's gonna go, you know? Like, oh, they're gonna drop the mask, or they're gonna be the self that they show sometimes. And like I know there's much more to this character now, but going back to when I originally watched this and I got introduced to this character, I kind of thought the show was going for a little turn to the worse. Like, sure, this was going to be a new obstacle for the group. I mean, it's definitely going to throw a wrench in some things, but I was just like, ugh, groan. Like, why would they introduce someone like this? And like, I didn't really get it until the end of the second episode, where like, oh, maybe she actually is kind of flirting with Ryuji, and like, oh, maybe there's some play there. Like that's something I didn't see originally, but I can definitely tell you that her first introduction when I first watched this was not enjoyable.
How many shows though that do the two-faced identity? Like, how many of them solve that in the first episode?
I don't think they solve it in the first episode at all. I mean, they show the arc that she's gonna take. They show like, yeah, she's more comfortable with Ryuji, but she's still gonna be a bitch to Taiga through almost the whole show.
But the airhead personality is like almost completely worn off by the next 2 or 3 episodes, and it's barely in play with the main cast. So I understand where you're coming from, though. Like, it's a complete anime trope, a television trope in general, where it's just, oh, the two-faced person, well, one of them has to be real, I gotta see it.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
all right, so moving forward through the episode, after her introduction, we get, like, oh yeah, we showed that she's a transfer student now in the school.
Yes.
Yeah, so, of course, Taiga's not too happy because they had a falling out. I mean, not really a falling out, but I guess just a really terrible introduction.
Look, there was a fly on Ami's face. Taiga got it.
Was there actually? Because like she did have something on her hand.
In her hand, there was a fly animated, which I guess is super ambiguous.
Yeah, that was a little confusing, but yeah. Then she starts really laying on the act, and you see the kind of person she wants to be, or she's like trying to be. I mean, you don't know the reasoning behind it yet, obviously, but yeah, it's still very ham-fisted and makes for a nice, awkward scene.
Oh, the scene where she's like, I fell down. Sometimes I fall down and I don't know how to get up. Yeah. And you're watching it from Ryuji's perspective, which gives it a like almost like you're watching someone watch a screen.
Yeah.
So you're watching the fake act, and it's something you'd watch in a lesser anime.
There's a great scene actually between Kitamura and Ryuji when they're stretching for gym class, where there's like, wow, this bitch is so fake. Look at her, just look at her. And I don't know, like you don't, like I said before, you don't get a lot of scenes with Ryuji and Kitamura like lately. So, like, that was kind of fun.
Yeah, when they have scenes, they shine. I think the dub continues to have amazing work in the improv lines.
I mean, like, except for every girl being Nanako.
Every girl is Nanako. Every girl is Karen Strassman, and it's great.
She's just like talking to herself and. Oh man.
Yeah. I'm sure that the second friend of Ami is another actress, but I'm so convinced that they're both Karen Strassman, which is great because Ryuji's mother is also Karen Strassman, so it just keeps adding on. Is there anything funnier than Minarine's reaction to Airheads?
Oh, Minarine was in good form in this episode.
Minarine in episode 5. I don't think she was that great in episode 6. We'll get to that, but I think episode 5 is just, you don't see her a lot. You actually see Kitamura. You see Kitamura a lot more than you see Minarine, but when she's there, it's just
she had the goddamn laser on her head.
Yeah, she had like a pathfinder on her head that she was like, oh, my sensors are off about.
She's
this
like
person.
Dowsing.
Yeah, she's dowsing for good vibes, man.
Oh man.
And also, the vending machine is now the scheduled place for heart-to-hearts.
Yeah, I mean, that'll change soon to empty classrooms, but...
Empty classrooms, vending machines, whatever period it is in class.
Yeah, because only drama happens in school, kids. Remember that.
Only. Yeah, episode 5. Ami is introduced. She sure is rude, but something's off about her. She was a model, and now she transferred schools and quit modeling. And then that leads actually right into episode 6, True Self, where
Has the best introduction to an episode yet. Calorie Warriors.
Well, so the divine fist of the convenience store decides to attack Kawashima and grope her stomach and sides to.
They're showing the world her fat.
Yeah, that it was very high school. I'll give it up, and it's Taiga and Minarine together, which is nice.
Also, I want to call bullshit. Taiga was able to pull off a full Nelson on someone much taller than her.
She can lift a boken twice her size.
I mean, she probably had to jump and then pulled her down, but they should have had like a stool she was standing on or something.
So let's talk about how to make a salad the Taiga way.
I mean, I'm not too well versed in salad, but I do know you should probably wash it first.
That's nonsense. You grab the lettuce, you pick off the leaves, you put them in a bowl, and you got your salad.
Yep.
That's great. That was that scene where Ami's being pursued by a stalker, and that's the reason she transferred to the new school, is because she didn't want people to know that the stalker was getting to her, so she just quit modeling and just ran away from her troubles.
Yeah, okay, Rise.
I was thinking that. It's a very much, like, of all the Persona-y vibes you'll get, that is the most running from your fears situation.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting because they're practically the same plot. I don't know. I think they both came out at the same time, too. But it might be a common thread. It's definitely a issue in Japan with the pop idol scene. It's an issue everywhere. But
well, then we actually get to see Ami like nervous for like the first time and like actually somewhat serious. It's
a completely different character. It's like not
any character can be scared.
Oh yeah, but it's interesting. It's always interesting when you see the veil lifted, and it's like the person that seemed to be all bite, bark, bark, bark. Oh, but there's the core. There it is. Something bothered them, and I like when that is shown, especially when it causes more rift, because when Ami goes up to Ryuji, Taiga's had enough of her and starts demanding that she not touch him and pulls out a giant metal garbage can as her weapon.
Oh, I just realized there's something we missed in the last episode, and that was
what's that?
Taiga in a ball.
Oh yeah, Taiga hanging when Ami like gets to her. Ami figures out Taiga's trigger, and it's Kitamura. Says that Kitamura hates her. She ends up like sulking in a ball in her blanket in her house.
It's really interesting that we go from seeing our two, like, portrayed as strong female characters, like, back to back being extremely vulnerable.
It's everyone. It's what's great about the show is that every step forward they take, it shows that, like, being strong and being weak are not states of mind. They're yin and yang. Taiga's especially prone to it. She goes on a rant where she compares Ami to Sailor Mercury.
And we also get the first Chihuahua call.
Yep. So she brings, Taiga brings Ami down to Ryuji's level. And now they're both dogs.
Alright, so back to the trash can.
Back to the trash can. Of course, when a trash can is thrown, who's there to clean it up? Ryuji. Ryuji just cleans it up right after.
Oh god, I lost it. Like, of course.
Yeah. Episode 6 establishes the Ryuji and Ami relationship of Ryuji helps Ami bring out her true self, and she wonders if being her true self would be able to make connections, such as if she could get a guy like Ryuji to fall for her. But it also indirectly then establishes the Taiga and Ryuji relationship by, as I said, I'm repeating myself, by adding another layer to it of just like a pressure. It's interesting. It's interesting seeing her be jealous towards Ryuji for the first time, because every other scene or there's any implication or any kind of move against Ryuji, she's kind of, okay, whatever. This isn't my target. This isn't my thing. It's my dog. Do whatever you want. And then the moment it's someone she doesn't like going near him, she gets super defensive.
Well, I mean, I know there's an episode coming up that's going to hint a little bit harder at the Ryuji.
There's no hint. There's no hint. It's like a hammer to a nail.
I mean, yeah, but even me way back when didn't get it.
Aw.
I was like, oh, he's a really good friend.
So, episode 5, I thought, dub-wise, worked really well when the president of the student council is motivating all the students to clean up the trash. That's the most accurate depiction of high school. Like,
I love the crowd.
Yeah, are you ready?
So we fast forward to the Stalker shows up again.
Yes.
After Ryuji and Ami. It's gonna take me a little bit. They kind of have this really nice moment where he asks her to just take off the mask already and like stop pretending. I'm tired of your bullshit. Stop being a huge bitch. So yeah, Stalker shows up. They hide, but then Taiga shows up and tells them to get the fuck out. And then Ami's all like, "How the fuck did she just do that? I am scared. I am pooping my pants over here, and she's there, about to kick that guy's ass. Maybe I should like stand up for myself a little bit more." And then she has like a really nice moment where she like beats the shit out of the camera, and she gave that guy a nice kick to the face.
Oh yeah, that was a nice big boot.
And now she's like, haha, I'm gonna be a huge bitch forever. Bye.
Yeah. No, I don't agree with you.
You agree? You agree?
No. Backsies.
We recorded it. We recorded it.
I'll cut it out.
Don't
You'll
you
never
dare.
know. I like that Taiga, like in all of her raw emotion, like is the inspiration for Ami to be free, where it's like, hey, here's logic, and then here's raw emotion, and this is like one of the times that, hey, raw emotion overpowers, like you should be you.
Yeah. There's definitely a duality of character there, where they're surprisingly a lot alike, but worlds different.
Interesting also that they have the Evangelion Asuka and Rei contrast, where Taiga has the hot red hair and Nami has the cool blue hair. So like that goes down to the aesthetic. Also, important plot detail. So they were cleaning up trash, and then when the Stalker comes, they run and they leave the trash there.
Yeah,
they leave
just
the trash
completely
in the marsh.
You know, Student Council President Yelly Girl is going to be very mad with them. And
voice of Faye Valentine will be
when they develop her character and she becomes the new main character of this show, they're going to be real disappointed.
Yeah, Toradora Part 3 got really weird when they just shifted to a completely irrelevant character.
Yeah, it's like, wow, we're hearing so much about his mom and the blue hoodie guy. Yeah, blue hoodie guy and Student Council President. Like, it's just about them now.
Can we talk about Blue Hoodie Guy? So, Blue Hoodie Guy... So, the anime trope that I'm familiar with is as TV Tropes has called it, those two guys. It's in every show.
You mean the two guys who popped all the balloons in Sakamoto?
Yes! The two guys in Evangelion. The two guys in Fooly Cooly.
I forgot about the two guys.
Yeah, it's always this two guys that are both like, hey... we're the perverts, so the main character kind of looks like a saint next to us.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's just like, they're not even that pervy. They're just weird guys.
Well, I mean, they're also there to show that Ryuji's, like, not a monster anymore.
Is he? Because they want to bring him along so they can scare off some of the girls.
I mean, yeah, he still has his appearance, but, like,
oh yeah,
it shows that the class is at least accepting of him a little bit, and not, like, just rumors.
That is true. It's also nice to have a contrast to Taiga, who her only chains to friends are Ryuji and Minami. Yeah.
All right, so what are you looking forward to in the next episode?
The second episode that we're going to watch next week, because that is the swimming episode, and that is the feels episode.
Cool time.
What about you?
Get your floaties!
Thank you to Eddie Gomez for our theme music and Phil Vasquez for our cover art.
Do you guys want to hear some more? Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you know when we upload an episode.
Also, check out other shows on Kitchen Bed Media. We have 102 Cast, we have Chai Guys, and we have a few more things coming down the pipeline.
Ooh, what could it be? Guys, we are also on Twitter. Check us out. Palmtop Podcast. Throw it in that search bar. You'll find us.
Hey, Kyle, quick best girl.
Best girl? Easy. Senjo Gahara.
What?
Spell that.
CTS.